This right here is the coolest shot out of all the Friday the 13th movies. Fact. Hey guys, how is it all going? So, we are here now. We are up to part 6 of the Friday the 13th movies, Jason Lives. So, the studio decided to bring Jason back because of the bad reception that part 5, A New Beginning, got. And we start with part 6, we start with Tommy Jarvis. So, let's get to the timeline of this a little bit because it can be a little bit confusing, but I think I've hit the year of where this film falls. So, bearing in mind, the first movie takes place in 1980. Now, part 2 is 5 years after the events of part 1. So, that will take place in 85. Now, bear in mind, part 2, part 3, and part 4 are all set probably around the same weekend, right? So, that's all still in 85. So Tommy Jarvis, I would say, was probably what, maybe 10, 11, he's supposed to be 10, 11, 12 in part 4. Part 5, Tommy's what, probably 17, 18. So that would take place in the early 90s in part 5. So I would say part 6, Tommy Jarvis is probably 20, 21 years old. So part 6 will probably take place, I think, in probably either 94 or 95. Bear that in mind, right? So part 6 probably takes place in the mid-90s now. And Tommy Jarvis, for some reason, it's not good enough that Jason is buried or dead. Oh, by the way, you have to forget in part 5 that they said that Jason was cremated. Forget it. So, Tommy Jarvis is going to Jason's grave and he digs up Jason and he sees Jason. Jason is dead. He's right there. He's not getting up. He's not coming back. He is dead. But for whatever reason, Tommy decides to take an absolute wobbler, rips out a metal pole from the fence and starts to stab the absolute loving shit out of Jason's body. Unfortunately for Tommy, lightning hits that metal pole and it brings our boy Jason back to life. And I just have to say this straight away. Tony, you are absolutely right, my friend. Part 6 is my favourite Friday the 13th movie. It's not only my favourite Friday the 13th movie, it's one of my favourite movies, hands down. I absolutely love part 6. And one of the reasons why I love part 6 is I like how self-aware it is. I like the humour in it. I like how they break the fourth wall. I like how the characters know they are in a horror movie in this. And I remember watching an interview with the director that did part 6, and he said he pretty much had like full reign. He could do what he wants. He said the only rule he got back from the studio was you can make fun of whatever you want, but you can't make fun of Jason. And it shows in this movie because Jason is unstoppable. You thought he was badass in the other ones he was in. Man, Zombie Jason is like Superman. Some of the kills he does in this movie are just like with his bare hands. Like he rips a girl's head clean off. He rips a guy's heart out. He bends that sheriff, absolutely snaps his back and just bends him like that. It's absolutely fantastic, the kills in this movie. It's not the most gruesome Friday the 13th movie. There's really not a lot of blood when you really think about it or watch it. But some of the kills are brilliant in it. I love it. And like I say, I love Jason in this movie. He is just so menacing and seems just an extra little bit more pissed off in this movie. And like I say, he's just unstoppable. He really is. And like I said at the beginning of the video, one of the coolest shots of the whole series is in this movie. When the RV crashes, which is a fantastic stunt, and then he just rips the door up and just gets up and just stands there. And that shot It just stays on them with the music. And we have to talk about the music. The score, again, outstanding in part 6. It really is. But it's not just the score. I actually quite like the soundtrack to part 6. And I quite like that Alice Cooper song, The Man Behind the Mask. I think it's great. I really do. So, to get into my positives, which I've pretty much already done anyway, I like all the characters in this movie. I think everyone does a decent job. And it's actually the first time we actually have kids at the camp. And you'll never see that again after this. It didn't happen before, and it's not going to happen after part 6. And I thought the kids that are in it, when we saw them, did well. I like the guy that plays Tommy Jarvis. Was it? It's a Tom Matthews. He was in like Return of the Living Dead. I thought he did a great job as Tommy Jarvis. To be fair, I liked him a lot more than the guy that played Tommy in part 5. But in saying that again, it's a little bit unfair because part 5 Tommy Jarvis is completely different to how he is in part 6. But I thought Tom Matthews did a great job as Tommy Jarvis. And just for me, this movie is just flawless. It's like it's fast paced. It's like Jason is nearly in every shot of this movie pretty much. I think, without looking it up, I think this is probably the most you see of Jason Voorhees in a Friday the 13th movie. I would imagine, I think. Probably maybe part 8 might beat it. I'm not too sure. But yeah, Jason's pretty much in every frame of this movie. And I just think they went down the right route with part 6 because I think the Friday the 13th movies, as much as I love the earlier ones, and I do, because like I said to you guys, like my top 3 was part 2, part 4, and then, as now you guys know, was part 6. But they're all like that. I mean, there's not much difference between them all. But I thought they made the right decision to kind of lighten it up a little bit with part 6. It's self-aware. It knows what it is. Like, it didn't take itself too seriously. And I thought it was a great decision to just, like, you can have the laugh and the jokes everywhere else, but keep Jason menacing. And that's exactly what they did. And it works. It absolutely works. But unfortunately for us in this series, it didn't stay with that. And unfortunately, after part 6, for me personally, the series starts to take a massive decline. But we'll get to that when I get to the other ones. So, guys, overall, and you're not going to be surprised with my rating, I am going to give part 6 an absolute 5 out of 5. In fact, I'll give it a 6 out of 5. I know that's not even possible, but I'll probably give it gold stars, 10 out of 10, 100% everything. I adore this movie. It's one of my favourites. I can watch it. I could watch it every day. I really could. That's how much I love this movie. So, guys, what do you think of part 6? Is it one of your favourite Friday the 13th movies? What is one of your favourites? Let me know in the comments below. It is always a pleasure hearing from you guys. And, as always, please take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you again real soon. Take care, guys. Goodbye now.